Economy Policy (NEP) was introduced by the Malaysian government in 1971 following the May 13, 1969 Reserve Amendment to promote national unity by addressing deep-rooted socio-economic imbalance among ethnic groups. It focused on eradicating poverty across all races and restricting society to reduce the link between race and economic growth, particularly enhancing the economic participation of the Bumiputra community. Implemented has a 20 years plan under the Second Malaysia Plan. The NEP used affirmative action in education, employment and business ownership to achieve its goal, leaving a lasting impact on Malaysia's economic and social landscape.
Now I want to present about my part, which is issues, costs and benefits in new economic policy. The first issue is wealth distribution and inequality. Focus on Bumiputera equity has been criticized for not directly addressing wealth distribution and economic inequality. Some argue that it has created a system of and out for the largest ethnic group, rather than a system that generally helps the poor. The second is lack of industrial plan. Some argue that the NEP lacked a coherently structured industrial plan to cultivate entrepreneurial private firms. This lack of a clear industrial strategy may have hindered the long-term economic growth and diversification of the country. The last one is impact on Malaysia, Chinese and Indian communities. The absence of planned assistance for Malaysian, Chinese and Indian to achieve their 40% goal during the implementation of the NEP has also been criticized. And we move to the next slide. The first cause is potential for discrimination. Concern has been raised about the policy's potential to create systematic discrimination against non-Bumiputera, particularly in areas like business and employment. The second is stagnant growth rates. The growth rate has been diminishing. The NEP has been criticized for not addressing the root causes of economic inequality and promoting pro-poor growth. The last cause is focus on ethnicity. The policy is focused on ethnicity rather than economic status has been criticized for hindering broader social and economic development. And we move to the benefits. The first one is pro-poor growth. The NEP has been credited with driving economic growth and addressing poverty, particularly among marginalized groups. The second one is increased economic opportunities. The policy has been linked to increased economic opportunities for all Malaysians with improvement in income and a decline in poverty rates. The last one, we have structural transformation. The NEP aimed to restructure the economy and society, leading to a greater participation of Bumiputera, Malays and other indigenous groups in various economic activities. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Next, we have objective. The new economic policy were published to achieve national unity and economic growth in Malaysia. NEP specifically aimed to put an end to poverty and restructure society, reducing the correlation between race, specifically between Bumiputra and non-Bumiputra, and economic function and geographic location. The goal was to be achieved by a combination of social re-engineering and affirmative action measures. The racial riot event that occurs on May 1969 proven that there is a very pronounced feeling of suspicion and hostility amongst the people of various races in this country. First, they want to eradicate poverty, raising the income and standards of living for all Malaysians regardless their ethnicity. This issue occurs due to the economic classification based on race. For example, the Chinese were placed in the city and the Indians in the rural areas like the rubber plantation, while the Bumiputra and the Malays were placed in the underdeveloped village. Next is social restructuring. The NEP aimed to restructure Malaysian society to reduce and eventually eliminate the correlation between race and economic function. In the final analysis, what is sought by the NEP is a socio-economic environment in which individual Malaysian find self-fulfillment within a system which provides for proportional participation, management and control in the economic life of the nation. Last but not least is economic growth under the NEP. Industrialization became the main strategy, and the government promoted export-driven industries such as electronics, textile, and rubber products. Tax holidays and special economic zones were introduced to attract foreign direct investment, as well as known as FDI, which was the main contributor to the accelerating industrial growth.
Now, I'm going to talk about actors involved in the new policy program NEP. Several agencies have been established to diversify the economy, which can increase people income and open up job opportunity. For example, we have Lembaga Kemajuan Ikan Malaysia (LKIM) established in 1971, mainly to support fishermen and modernize fishing, to help improve the standard of living of socio-economy. Next, we have Lembaga Beras and Padi, now known as Bernas, established in 1971. It to help control the padi and rice sector as well as establish padi bus. Next, we have Pihak Berkuasa Kemajuan Pekebun Kecil Perusahaan Getah (RISDA) to improve the socio-economic condition of smallholder rubber farmer to replanting program, monetization and income diversification. Other than that, we also have Lembaga Kemajuan Tanah Persekutuan known as FELDA in 1956. Under the Land Development Act, to elevate rural poverty by opening new agricultural land and resettle landless farmers. FELDA collaborate with few agencies, been actively partnering with state government to open up new agriculture and giving landless family 10 acre plot of their own land to grow oil palm, rubber, plus their own home.
Next is the strategies in new economic policy. The first strategy taken by the government is affirmative action. Through in new economic policy, the government aimed 30% of Bumiputra ownership in equity. By doing this can help the Bumiputra in opening their businesses. Next, policies in civil service ensure Bumiputra are included. This means that they are getting the privilege in getting promotions and recruitment. By doing so, the Bumiputra can prepare themselves and develop any necessary traits in upcoming workforce. Other than that, this can also increase their opportunities in businesses and balancing the imbalanced economy at that time. Second is enhancing access to quality education for the poor. The government spends large amount of resources such as building and funds. These resources then allocated to those who in need. Other than that, students get sent to boarding school that equipped with good facilities. Students that excel in their study get to further their education in higher education through quota system for local university and even further their education to overseas universities. Third is Land Development Scheme, FELDA. This scheme was first introduced in 1956, aiming in improving rural Malay's economy. The goal for this scheme is to reduce poverty in rural areas by providing land and income-generating opportunities for landless Malay. The landless Malay will be resettled to a new developed area.
As a result, around 112,000 were resettled. They were resettled through cultivation of oil, palm, and land development scheme. And recently, in 2024, around 31.7 million ringgit were allocated by the government to support the Sejati Madani program to help and assist economic development. Activities in Felda areas that mainly focuses on agriculture, wellness, ecotourism, and craft. And finally, we have the encouragement of Malay and Bumiputra's participation in urban and commercial sectors. The government heavily support the Malays and Bumiputra to involve themselves in urban and commercial sectors. First, the government will supply them with good education and opportunities that they previously have no access to. The government then provide training such as professional, management, and technical skills. By doing this, human resource from Malays and Bumiputra can be increased. And in between 1974 and 2000, the Bumiputra involvement increased from 24% to 37%. Through this statistic, we can see that the Malays and Bumiputras had adopted efficiency and competence throughout the year, and this is done with the support by the government.
So SWOT analysis divide to 4 parts. That is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So we go part by part. Firstly is strengths. Poverty reduction. That is NEP significantly lowered the poverty rate, especially among the Bumiputra community. Second one is ethnic economic balance. That is help restructure society by increasing Bumiputra participation in the economy, aiming to reduce income disparities. So that's it. Then secondly is weaknesses. Over dependence on quota and created long-term reliance on affirmative action, limiting self-initiative and competitiveness. Inefficiency in resources allocation. Some programs favored political elites, leading to leakage and poor delivering outcomes. Lastly, limited benefit to broader Bumiputra population. Wealth and opportunities were not always equally distributed among target groups. Then opportunities. There is policy reform for inclusive growth. Lessons from NEP can inform more inclusive, need-based approaches in future policies. Talent development and innovation focus shifting from race-based to merit and skill-based program can boost national competitiveness. Private sector collaboration engage private companies in developing equitable opportunities for all communities. Lastly, threats. Social polarization that is race-based policies risk creating resentment among other ethnic groups, threatening national unity. Global economic pressure that is Malaysia must adapt to global trends demanding efficiency and meritocracy to remain competitive. Then, policy sustainability, there is prolonged dependency on affirmative action without clear transition plans can hinder long-term development. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Conclusion, the new economy policy NEP was a progressive initiative that significantly reduced poverty and improved socio-economic outcomes, especially for the Bumiputra community. While it advanced national development and equity, it also drew criticism for fostering independency and ethnic tension. Though officially ended in 1990, the NEP legacy continued that shaped Malaysian policy. Its experience highlights the need for inclusive, balanced strategy in building a unique multi-ethnic nation.